that financial behavior is dictated by an internal script formed in childhood before we are even conscious enough to understand currency. Financial psychologists identify four primary money scripts that predict how you behave with money. People who believe money is fundamentally corrupting or that they do not deserve it. They often subconsciously sabotage their own success, pick lower-paying careers, and experience immense guilt when wanting wealth. Those who believe money is the ultimate savior that will solve every problem and grant absolute happiness. They chase it obsessively, prioritize work over core human relationships, and perpetually hoard money because no amount is ever enough. Individuals who explicitly tie their self-worth to their net worth. They are hyper-focused on keeping up with the Joneses, leading to extreme overspending to maintain outward appearances, high financial anxiety, and decreased long-term well-being due to constant comparison. Chronic savers who live substantially below their means but are plagued by constant, underlying anxiety regarding their financial future. Even with hundreds of millions in net worth, they feel insecure and have powerful impulses to drastically cut spending during minor business dips. To change external financial results, you must perform a psychological audit. Trace your earliest childhood memories about money, identify what your parents said or did, and actively rewrite the script to, "Money is an abundant tool that lets me create freedom and help more people." Your financial net worth is strictly capped by your internal self-concept. Leila notes that human identity functions exactly like a financial thermostat. If you identify as someone who only earns or deserves $50,000 a year, you will unconsciously sabotage a $200,000 opportunity to regulate your internal temperature back down to your comfort zone. If you make more than your identity allows, you will overspend the excess to get rid of it. If you view yourself as someone who struggles, your brain will constantly look for ways to keep you struggling. Write out your current financial identity honestly, e.g., I'm the kind of person who struggles to save. Draw a line down the page and write the target identity, I'm the kind of person who builds and manages wealth with ease. Read it daily to expand your self-image so your income can naturally follow. Ali Abdaal challenges the foundational narrative taught by traditional schooling, the faulty assumption that a safe, high-paying job is the only legitimate vehicle to secure money. Instead, you must think of wealth strictly through a mathematical lens. All money is simply an exchange of value, achieved by alleviating someone's pain, solving a problem, or giving them what they want. In a standard job, you might create immense value, e.g. a salesperson pulling in $200,000 in a month, but because you operate under an employer, you may only capture a small fraction, e.g., a 10% commission of $20,000. When you transition into freelancing, building software, writing books, or running a business, you take on the operational risks but gain the ability to capture a drastically higher percentage of the value you generate. Society frequently conditions individuals to believe that sales are sleazy, conjuring images of manipulation or adversarial relationships. This conditioning creates a deep-seated dread of charging money or promoting products. Abdaal offers a critical psychological reframe. Under healthy capitalism, a sales transaction is a voluntary, explicit win-win scenario. The buyer values the product or service more than their money, and the seller values the money more than the product. There is a direct psychological correlation between judging others for selling and staying broke. Wealthy people never look down on a clean, honest offer because they recognize that making offers is the lifeblood of value distribution. If you experience negative emotions when someone offers a product, you are actively sabotaging your own ability to ask for money in the future. Human biology is evolutionarily wired for scarcity to protect existing resources, like finite berries, from threats. However, applying a biological survival brain to modern economics is disastrous. A scarcity mindset views money as finite, leading to hoarding, short-term panic decisions, and an inability to plan long-term. Conversely, an abundance mindset understands that modern economic value is infinite, highly renewable, and built on compounding skills, relationships, and scale. Psychological research by Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky proves that the pain of losing $100 is twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining $100. Because losing feels twice as bad as winning, people hold on to losing investments, stay in dead-end jobs, and completely avoid calculated wealth opportunities. Reframe every single financial loss as tuition. If a business venture fails and costs you money, you did not simply lose capital, you paid a premium for an accelerated real-world education that will eventually yield millions in returns. To achieve complete financial freedom, you must fundamentally change how you buy items and how you value time. As coined in Rich Dad Poor Dad, an asset puts money into your pocket, while a liability pulls money out. The middle class frequently purchases liabilities under the delusion that they are assets. The truly wealthy spend their early capital buying assets, such as business equipment, rental property, or educational courses that scale their earning skills. Wealthy individuals do not sell their time, they aggressively buy it back. If your calculated hourly rate is $100 per hour, spending 2 hours cleaning your house to avoid paying a $50 maid service does not save you money, it logically costs you $150 in lost productivity. Automating admin tasks, hiring assistants, and delegating lower-value labor frees up bandwidth to focus strictly on hyper-leveraged, high-value creative output. School reinforces the myth that acquiring high-value skills requires gate-kept, institutional training, like an expensive college degree or MBA. In the modern era, the Internet has fully democratized skill acquisition. High-income skills like copywriting, programming, and digital marketing can be entirely self-taught via YouTube, online courses, and execution. Even elite Cambridge medical students master intricate practical procedures by studying YouTube creators and practicing on friends. Society screams that starting a business or investing capital is inherently dangerous. However, building risky businesses is what causes failure. Launching a low-overhead, service-based model where you validate market demand before spending capital is highly secure. In fact, relying on a single corporate employer for 100% of your financial survival is arguably far riskier than running a business with diverse, multiple clients.